Nag Hammadi, Egypt, December 1945. A farmer discovers a sealed earthenware jar containing 13 leather-bound papyrus books. These books, now known as the Nag Hammadi Codices, were written by the early Christians known as Gnostics in the first several centuries AD. These mysterious texts contain the Gospels of Thomas and Philip, as well as other previously unknown secret Gospels. Mixed in with the religious writings are poems, instructions for mystical practice, and a description of the origin of the universe.
That shed a great deal of light on early religious issues, biblical texts, and biblical history. But they made a mention of a very mysterious race of creatures that have become known as the Archons. We don't really know what the Archons were or even are. What's interesting is that there is actually a depiction and a description of the Archons looking definitively reptilian.
They're very robot-like, very machine-like, and therefore very predictable. And given that you see the machine-like nature of so many reptilian animals and what have you in the human society, there is a correlation between the two and why the reptilian form is so common an expression of this machine-like, unemotional, computer-like mentality.
Is it possible the stories of the Archons really are describing reptilian humanoid beings? And might our own so-called reptilian traits really be the product of alien engineering?
People focus on the Garden of Eden story in the Bible as if it's a one-off. Look around the world and you'll find similar stories on a similar theme. It seems to be talking about when humans were created, Adam and Eve. I would strongly suggest from my research that actually it's not talking about that at all. It's talking about the point when human genetics were interfered with and genetically manipulated. And so humans became at that point themselves a hybrid, which had a great infusion, I would suggest, of what I would call Archon genetics, symbolically the serpent in the Garden of Eden.
And one suggestion is that the whole idea of the Garden of Eden was nothing else but some type of a lab that was run by extraterrestrials in which we were ultimately created.
Are human beings really the product of genetic manipulation by extraterrestrial visitors? And were our ancestors some form of reptilian human hybrid? Many ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and they believe that reptilian humanoids not only existed on our planet tens of thousands of years ago, but that they are alive and well and living among us to this day.